All right, guys. Injuries from the game. We had Charvarius Ward had a groin, never returned. Oren Burks knee. Hargrave hamstring didn't return, and Greenlaw hip. He did come back. Go ahead.
Kyle, you got a 12-point win over a rested, somewhat desperate Seahawks team. What about today's win are you most pleased with?
Getting a win. I thought there were some things that were a little sloppy. We were just a little inconsistent throughout the day, but guys made a ton of plays, got enough points. The 2 turnovers the defense caused were huge. It wasn't the perfect football by any means, but our only goal is to get a win, and we found a way to do it.
Purdy, were the Seahawks daring him to beat him over the top?
No, they're actually pretty soft in all their coverages. They have deep guys all the time. You got one off schedule breaking out. The touchdown to Debo, just their hooker, stopped on the play. So when you do that, there's no one by him. And he saw, I think it was 33, he stopped, and Brock saw it, and that's why he got a wide open touchdown.
I don't see the big runs that Christian has. Almost every time you go left, how hard is it to resist just going left every single time, or do you always try to work to try to get go left with Christian?
No, it's not always like that because I don't know whether it's going to bounce or cut back. So sometimes when we go to the right, it cuts back to the left too. So a lot of it depends on hashes and stuff and how we're playing. Yes, it makes sense to run to the left a little bit more if everything's even, but doesn't always work out that way like it might have come off.
A lot of your best offenses have been somewhat methodical, piling up first downs, working the clock. This team is so explosive today, and it's showing more and more of that. Have you had a team this explosive before in terms of, being able to get big chunk yardage?
Yeah, well, we got so many guys who can get such big plays on little plays. We went for a big play early in the game, tried to get George and BA down the middle, and the 2 hook defenders were deep and the safety. And some of my favorite plays by Brock on the day because he just went to a check down, which was the right answer. And Debo was a 5-yard check down, and he got 30 on it. So it's that happens on a lot of our stuff. And then the more they come up, then you can kind of get those easy big plays. The one George was huge just because they're honoring the run. And the play before that, you could see him blow the run up. And with George and Charlie over there and 22 personnel, and they're coming up aggressive. And you could tell they did it again. That's why they tried to grab George going by him, but he was able to fight through the holding and get the touchdown. So got a lot of explosive guys. But when you're not just one-dimensional in that way, you hope it's a matter of time and just how it plays out.
Debo described his play last year as awful. How would you describe his play so far this year?
It's been very good. We're not done yet, so there's a lot more football to play, so we'll see at the end of the year. But I thought Debo came into this season very ready to go. I thought he was looking really good those first couple weeks. Didn't have all the stats to show it, but that was just the way the ball went. But he was really ready to go, and then he had a huge setback with his injuries, which took him a while to get back from. And when he did, it still took some time to get back in football shape. But starting a few weeks ago, you could see it, and I think he's at the top of his game right now.
Indication of injury-wise, if any of those will be long-term, is it too early?
No, Ward not sure. We just have to look into it because he's had some stuff like in this past, so we're not quite sure. Oren was able to still play. Hargrave was a hamstring, so I'm assuming he pulled it, but we got to find out for sure. It's always, you never know with the D linemen how long they'll be out on that, but we'll know a little bit more tomorrow, and Greenlaw was able to come back. So.
Was the big one Wisnowski's call, or was that called before?
No, I just knew that it would look good right there, so I just called my first fake punt.
I don't think you called one.
No, I didn't today either. I don't really know what happened on it. I think he just hesitated a little bit. I haven't got to talk to him personally. I don't know if he thought it was going to get blocked or if he bobbled the snap a hair or he just had a glitch, but it was a good one because when he paused and stuff and saw the edge, it was obviously a clean look, and he didn't hesitate for it. And I was just told he hit over 20 miles per hour on it, so that's real cool. No, Ronnie felt bad about it, but wish we could have avoided that.
You guys lost Ward on the first series, so how do you feel the defense responded, I guess especially the secondary?
Yeah, I thought they were huge. Just such a challenge going against their receivers, all of them, especially, Lockett and DK, and you know how good Mooney has done versus them, especially versus DK here in the past, and to lose him early in the game was stressful, especially when they hit a go route on that series too to get the touchdown, but that was about it after that. I thought Ambry had a hell of a game. I think he's been playing his best football here. I was so proud of him getting that penalty, not retaliating back. Thought Demo was unbelievable today. I wish he would have got that pick. I know Nick feels a little bit bad about that, but hated his retaliation, but we'll deal with that on our own. And then I thought Isaiah stepped it up too. I mean, we had to move guys around, and Isaiah's been a stud. He's ready for everything at any time in the game. Last week versus Philly, he had to go in and play safety on the second play when Gip went out. And then it was kind of the same thing this week. Just we had to bump Demo outside and get him back to nickel, and those guys had a real good game.
In the first half, after they had the illegal forward pass, did you consider declining the runoff to? And it looked like you were talking to the ref about it. Did they not let you, or what happened?
No, we went back and forth on it, and then I ended up not liking my decision. It's kind of right in between there. I had enough timeouts. We said no, then we said yes, and then I was confused because when they did take the 10 seconds off and it was after an incomplete completion, I couldn't figure out why they were running it again. None of us knew, so it was just an unusual rule. So I just talked to the ref, and he said it is a weird rule, but that's how they do it. Even if it's a dead ball, you take a 10-second runoff, they can still start the clock. And once that started happening, and we were surprised by it, then we just let it go in at half.
Brandon Ayuk hit the 1,000-yard receiving mark now in back-to-back seasons. What does he continue to show you week in and week out?
Just every year he gets so much better, just on the football field and also off the football field, which leads to the football field in terms of how mature he is. He's one of our leaders in there. I think BA's come a long way in terms of he gets so amped up for the games, and sometimes he won't get a ball for a little bit, and then he gets it late, and sometimes it happens early. But just BA this year, it really doesn't matter with him. He plays the same way, down in and down out, and carries over in the run game and the pass game. And with the type of football player he is and how talented he is, it's always, you always feel it's a matter of time. He's going to get his 1,000, but he deserves it, and he's been great for us this year.
What was your view of the fracas there at the end, the ejections, and what was the explanation you were given for Lenore?
I was told he threw a punch. I saw all the Fred and DK stuff, and it was an awesome job by Fred, just keeping his composure and just taking it so he wouldn't get ejected. And then after that, and we were all excited, but I know there's a big scuffle after that, and I didn't see after that, but I was told Demo threw a punch too.
The Jair Brown's showing up against the run and the pass. He seems like he's getting better every week. What are you seeing?
I see the same thing. I mean, he doesn't shy away from contact. He loves to be downhill and hit people, and he's got really good vision on the ball. And there's a couple times today that ball hung up in the air, and he had one pick, would have had two, but Fred intercepted it from him. I think it was him back there, but Fred ended up going like this. It was an awesome job. I think it was Jair letting up and not both of them going for it at the same time, because then it would have been incomplete. But he got his opportunity. As we stated a month ago, he'd been ready for his opportunity, the way he's been handling everything, and that's why now just the more experience he gets, the better he gets.
Back to the left side blocking there. We always talk about Trent. We know about Trent. How important and how well is Aaron Banks playing for that kind of play?
Aaron Banks is playing very well. I mean, I thought he did for us last year too. He had a big injury to come back from, which took him some time, but Banks is extremely consistent in everything he does. He's also got a lot of size, which is nice for us. We don't always have that, and each week he gets better. It was tough when he did have that setback, but the way he played last time versus Seattle on a real short week when he wasn't sure if he could go, followed by last week versus Philly, and then today, I couldn't be more happy with Aaron.
That's good.
All right, guys, thanks.
On up here. I wouldn't say I'm faster. It's just like when I'm in the open field, I think I just got another gear that people haven't seen. So they're like, "Yo, Debo, I ain't know you was that fast, but really can move."
You described last year your play as awful. How would you describe it this year?
Since coming back from injury, I can see the level of play just getting better and better week in and week out. Just taking day at a time, just to be the best me I can possibly be for the team.
Does having fewer running plays from scrimmage, does that give you more explosiveness on the receiving?
Nah.
Does Brock throw a better deep?
I mean, two people talking one time, I can't answer both questions.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago that you guys had made it a priority to get the deep ball going in the offseason. How do you think that's coming along, and how did it come together for you today?
You know, it's crazy as we worked that play at practice, that was like the last option to be thrown. And so, you know, Brock just being the quarterback he is, and just whenever he sees something, he's just going to let it go. As you can see, like, I really wasn't running like 100 miles per hour. But once I looked back and seen Brock getting ready to cock and throw it, I had to speed up. But that's just something that we work on every year in camp, and we slowly progressing to get better at it.
How much do you think adding that in more to the offense this year has made you guys even more dangerous?
I think it's way more dangerous because I feel like you can't just cover the in-breaking routes like they normally do anymore and got to cover the whole field.
Is he throwing a better deep ball than he did, say, last year? Because people always talk about he's got an average arm and all that stuff.
I don't listen to what the people say. I'm pretty sure he don't either, but it's been consistent.
Are you guys, you have so many explosive plays today, and in the last couple of years you've been more of a methodical first down type offense, but do you guys have the impression when you get to a huddle that basically any play you call can be a touchdown?
Correct. It's just the culture that we have here and the guys that we have whenever they get the ball from, I mean, you can see Brock get out there a little bit, try to scramble a little bit, but from Christian to Juice, Kittle, B.A., and it's just go on down the line. It's just like the culture that they built here and just what we practice on every day.
You know that you and Brandon are close and you are both rooting for each other. Is there any sort of friendly competition on the team, though? You guys are...
Nah, we don't. Nah, it ain't no friendly competition at all. At the end of the day, we want to see both of us succeed, and you know we just push each other to be better day in and day out.
You, a couple of home games, you interacted with your little boy on the field before, and those clips have gone really viral. What's it mean for you to just kind of be able to share those moments with him?
I mean, it mean everything. Ever since I had him, I can say like the level of play and the focus and determination I have for this game has went to another level because it's not only am I playing for me, I'm playing for my family. So, like, whenever, you know what I'm saying, get to see him out there, he having a good time, it's just giving me more energy to go out there and just make plays.
You guys good?
Right on time.
You kind of share what happened at the end of the game there, or toward the end after your pick, you and DK, what was happening?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I told him he tackles really well, and then for some reason he didn't like that, and you know, I guess what happened, and it's unfortunate, man. You got to learn to keep his composure, but happy we came out with the dub.
What did it mean to you to see Diamador kind of step in there for you?
Man, I know what Demo is made of. He ain't got to show me nothing out there. I don't want him hurting himself. You know what I'm saying? So hurting himself or hurting the team, we know what he's made of. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing to prove out there. But I always appreciate guys protecting each other out there. So I mean that doesn't surprise me one bit.
Right, you talked about the defense being inspired by what the offense does. Did you see that today? Like when they're hitting the deep ball, does that kind of fire you guys up?
Absolutely, every time. And I've spoken on it plenty of times of how explosive our offense is, and it's just a matter of time before they make a big play down the field or a huge run. I mean, the way they started the game was incredible. I think as a team we just got to be more consistent. Today was a little sloppy throughout the game through all phases, and we still found a way to win, which is what most important. And we just got to continue to get better.
Are you seeing a different level from Debo this year? I mean, he described last year that he said he was awful. He seems like maybe better than ever.
Yeah, I mean, for him to say he was awful, it's like a little, hey, come on now, that's probably a little much. But the level he's playing at right now is unbelievable, and we need it. We need it from him. I mean, he's such a big-time game changer, playmaker for us. And so anytime that we have him out there on that field and the defense got to worry about, like, man, he's liable to break one for 80 yards at any point, like that's one more guy that they got to worry about on top of all the other weapons that we have. So, I mean, he's been doing an incredible job. I'm not surprised the way that he works and everything that he's earned. I'm really happy for him.
You feel the defense responded. You lose Traveris Ward on the first series. Hargrave goes out. Eric's not in the lineup today. So I gave other guys an opportunity, but how did you see the defense respond?
Yeah, I got to watch it. It didn't feel like our best day, but at the end of the day, we did what was required to win the game. I think we had 2 takeaways total. I wish we could have got that third or fourth one to help the offense out a little bit. Run game wise, we had great success on some plays, and then other plays, they're kind of getting a little bit. We got to tackle better in space. Let them off the hook on some of those big explosive pass plays, and so there's little things out there. And like I said, I got to watch it to really see the full picture. But we did what was necessary to win the game.
You said several weeks ago that you guys hadn't won the grimy games yet. Does this feel like maybe one of the grimier games that you needed to win?
Yeah, I think there was some moments out there where Seattle could have came back into the game at any point. They had some things going for them, and we had guys go down, in crucial moments of the game. Losing Mooney on, that first drive was big, and guys stepping up in times that we need them to. We just got to continue to find ways to win, no matter what. But we also got to make sure that we're correcting any mistakes that we're making out there, so we're able to continue to get better into, obviously the more important part of the season that we're in. Thanks, guys.
What's it like running behind Trent Williams and
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
the first play, when did you know that it was going to break loose like that?
I mean, you never know till it does. You just you kind of just read it one gap at a time and trust the guys in front of you. And that was, amazing blocking. Got to score there. But that was, great job by those guys up front all day. BA blocking downfield, 75 yards down the field again, which is just becoming routine for him. So I appreciated that. But that was a great job by all those guys up front.
It's like for you to take it to the 3 and then see Jordan take it the
Yeah,
rest way.
it's a very interesting set of emotions because you're like, oh, I'm going to punch it in, and you see him coming, man. I got to score. If you don't want to get taken out after a long one, you got to score. They're trying to save your breath and make sure you're, good to go. So I get it, but, yeah.
Somehow it wasn't your idea.
No.
Have you always been good running to your left? Do you feel like a natural left runner?
Hopefully both ways. No, I never look at, what way I'm better at. A lot of it just play dependent.
You and Brock sort of arrived at a similar time. In what ways have you seen him make the biggest strides as a quarterback?
Man, it's funny. I've been asked that a lot, and it's so tough for me to pick something. I kind of just I try to figure out an answer just for an answer, but I don't really know if he's gotten better every week. But he started out so hot. He started out doing things so well, and he's been so consistent. And I think he's the same guy every day. He's a silent assassin, but competitive. And yeah, he's growing, but he's also playing at such a high level all the time that, if he just continues to be him, we're in the right spot.
Is a deep ball more of a weapon for you guys now? Obviously it was today, but is that increasingly so?
I think, anytime you can put those deep balls on tape, it's good. It's just another threat. And we got guys who can do it. We got a quarterback who can throw the deep ball. And I think a lot of times, Kyle's so good at setting things up so that, you hit a bunch of dunk down plays, a couple crossers with guys who can make people miss in space. And then, the one to George, the one to Debo. When you have those shots, you got to take advantage of them. And, we did today.
How does it feel to be in an offense that stuff that you guys run every week, put on tape every week, can still break massive plays?
Well, it feels great, man. It's a testament to the coaches who, those guys work so hard to dial the plays up every week, keeping it fresh. We learn new playbooks every single week, and It's challenging, but you got a group of guys who are bought in. Obviously, you have a great play caller who notices our tendencies and fixes those, and runs plays off of what we've ran in the past. And you got a lot of guys who go out there and just execute it. I think today, we were pretty sloppy today, even still, and I think there's a lot of stuff we left out there. But obviously, the win's the most important thing, and I know we got the guys who go out there and fix those.
You obviously had a massive season in 2019. Does this feel comparable? Do you feel even maybe better than that season?
Well, man, there's nothing like winning. I think at the end of the day, just the emotion you get from winning is light years above when you go 6-10 or whatever it is. It's individual statistically. 2019 I went 1,000, had 19 touchdowns. But like I said, you just when you're not winning, it doesn't feel like that. So I'm just happy to be a part of this team, and we're playing well, and we just got to keep it consistent and do it week in and week out. Thanks, guys.
How cool is it for you just to know that any pass you throw, regardless of depth, could end up in the end zone with some of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a part of a special group, any one of our guys, any one of our eligibles, man, you get the ball in their hands and then they can go do the rest. Break tackles, obviously have pull away, breakaway speed. We see it every game. So to throw like a 5-yard pass or even a deep ball, it doesn't matter. We got playmakers.
Debo said that his play last year was awful, is the way he had described it at the beginning of the season. I'm just wondering, do you see a different level from him than you were seeing last year?
I feel like he's just more intent, with the little things. And then obviously like his effort and stuff when he's not getting the ball, carrying out fakes and stuff to open up, Christian or play action pass. He's doing it right. Last year was my first year with him, so I didn't really know a whole lot. I always thought he balled last year. You get the ball in his hands and he still killed it. But he came back this year in great shape, looking good, and then has given everything to this team. So very proud of him. And obviously when you do get him the ball, he's the same old Debo, makes plays.
How big is it for you guys to be able to beat Seattle twice in one season?
It's huge. Especially just playing in the same division as them, the rivalry and all that kind of stuff. But they're a good team, and so for us to be able to say we beat them twice in the same year is huge for us. But like I said before, we play and take every game 1 week at a time. So they were on our schedule twice, and that's how we handled it, and that's how we looked at it. But they're a great team.
Are you more comfortable all the time with the deep ball, throwing the deep ball?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Like today you had like 3 really nice deep balls, and that's, last year people were saying you got an average arm, maybe people weren't expecting you to throw it deep, but it seems to be more and more a part of the team's arsenal.
I feel like we've always, sort of had, shots within plays. If the defense gives us a look, we take it. And so was I afraid to go deep or anything like that last year? I don't think so. This year I feel like just more aware of, what our offense is and where guys are supposed to be. And if the defense gives us a look, I'm more, I guess, ready for it and aware of it. So I have taken deep shots this year. So, yeah.
Shanahan said his favorite throw of yours wasn't one of the deep ones, but a short one to Debo that he took 30 yards. Is that yours too, or do you have a favorite?
That one felt good, just, going through the progressions and hitting Debo. And, we talked about that all week, Obviously, if the defense gives us the longer, deeper throw, great, but we have to be disciplined and have to play with conviction to be able to go through my progressions and be willing to take checkdowns like that. And obviously, when you have Debo Samuel as your checkdown, it's pretty good. So.
With the Seahawks play that goes for 72, you have a number of big plays. I think you averaged over 10 yards of play today. Do you guys come out of the huddle thinking like any play can be a touchdown?
Yeah, I feel like that's our mindset with this team. Like I said before, we have playmakers across the board. So if you throw outside zone to Christian, and he can take it 70. You can throw a check down to Debo Samuel, and he'll take it 50. So that's how we do look at it. We have guys across the board that can make anything happen at any time, and that's our mindset. But obviously, you get into situational football, you have to be smart and not just throw deep or anything like that, but we have guys that can score at any moment, so we know that.
Were the Seahawks sort of daring you to beat him over the top today, or were you just extra aggressive?
I mean, honestly, the last couple of games we've played them, it's sort of been the opposite. Like, they've done a good job of taking away the deep stuff and has really have forced me to throw checkdowns and stuff. So going into this game, we understood that. But, I mean, they still gave me some ops, and so I think we took advantage of them. So.
On the deep pass in practice, he wasn't the usual option on that. What did you see on that, and why did you go to him on that?
Yeah, I saw Jamal Adams sort of. He didn't come down like really, really hard, but I sort of saw his feet, like coming down. He was sort of flat-footed, and I was like, all right, with Debo moving, I was like, we can get over the top here. And so took my drop. He wasn't necessarily like the number one guy in the read. It was actually Juwan. But the way Jamal Adams came down, I was like, this could be a big one. So let it rip and let Debo get under it.
Are you guys trying to?
Sorry.
Still look at the possibility of the first round bye and the top seed if you guys can just win out each one of your games?
I mean, yeah. For us, if we handle business and take it 1 week at a time, I mean, obviously, that who doesn't want to play, as the first seed with home field advantage and all that kind of stuff. So I think everybody in the league knows that. We know that here. And like I said, we're taking it 1 day at a time, and everything will fall into place how it needs to.
Christian just called you a silent assassin. Would you say that that's an accurate description?
Man. I mean, I'm sort of going to not answer that. I respect that. Thank you, Christian. But, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, guys.